now.
Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Yummy Brown of Yommycrochetlogy, and today's tutorial is this cute puff flower. And also I would like to share that these puff flowers will be definitely used for our future tutorials and projects that is coming to my channel. So if you like my content that talks about crochet and styling our crochet pieces, please smash that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Again, as I've mentioned before, this puff flower will be used in our projects like this one, the Fairy Floss doll dress. Check the description box below or the card above for the tutorial of this dress. And let's proceed to our video. So I have here a couple of puff flowers that is made from a different kind of fiber. This one is made of acrylic, a super bulky acrylic yarn. And this is what it looks like if you're using an acrylic in that size. This one here is a DK Merino hand-dyed yarn. This is an Australian Merino, 100% Merino, and this is what it looks like. And this one here is a lightweight cotton, made of lightweight cotton from Hobby. And as you can see, each kind of yarn also gives you a different kind or different styles of puff flowers. So this is the acrylic, 100% acrylic I used for my acrylic flower, and this is what it looks like, and it's beautiful shade. And this is a super bulky yarn. And this one here is the DK 100% Australian Merino, and this is a hand-dyed yarn. It's very beautiful and it's so soft. It glides like a butter into your hook. This is the information at the back, and this is what it looks like if you use this yarn for a puff flower. This one here is the 100% cotton from Hobby, the rainbow cotton, which is 8/8 yarn, and it's a lightweight. Okay, so any sizes from lightweight to super bulky is perfect for a puff flower. In this tutorial, we will be using a 4mm hook and the lightweight cotton. So make a magic circle however you're comfortable in making one. This is how I make my magic circle. And there's the magic circle, and that's where we will be working. And then make a chain of 1, and inside the circle you have to make 5 single crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then you have to slip stitch to your chain 1 at the very beginning of this row. And then you have to pull the tail to close the gap between your magic circle. So in this part, you can either cut off your yarn or continue the same color. So I'll show you later how to change color. But for the sake of this tutorial, we will continue with one color. So this one here changed color for the petals. But for now, let's continue with this color to look like this. So chain of 3, so that's 1, 2, and 3. You will insert your hook into the next stitch. So wrap your yarn twice into your hook and insert it into the next stitch, like so. Pull a yarn and bring it all up, okay, so to give a nice height. So you should have 4 loops in your hook right now. And yarn over and pull that yarn all the way in the first 2 yarns in your hook. Okay, so there you go. That's your first repeat for the puff. And again, repeat the yarn over twice into your hook and then insert it in the same stitch where your first repeat. And pull a yarn and again wiggle it all the way up to give a nice height. And you should have 6 loops in your hook right now. And yarn over and pull it again in the first 2 yarns in your hook. Okay, so that's the second repeat, and we need 4 of that repeat. So again, yarn over twice into your hook and then insert it in the same stitch and pull a yarn, and again wiggle it all the way up to give a nice height. So you should have 2, 4, 6 and 8 loops in your hook right now, and yarn over and pull that yarn all the way into the first 2 yarns in your hook. So there you go, that's your third repeat, and again we need another 1 to complete the puff. So yarn over twice into your hook and insert it into the same stitch and yarn over and pull a yarn, and again wiggle it all the way up to give a nice height. Yarn over and pull it in the first 2 yarns in your hook. Okay, so there's the 4 repeat to complete the puff. Yarn over and pull the yarn all the way to the second to the last loop. Okay, so here, just here. You should have 2 loops right now, and yarn over and pull it all the way to the end. And there's your first puff completed. Now chain of 3 to close this puff, and then slip stitch to the same stitch where your puff is. So there's your puff petal. And then to start the second petal, you have to slip stitch to the next stitch. Like so, and chain of 3. And then again, start the puff petal. Wrap your yarn twice into your hook, insert it in the same stitch, pull a yarn. So wiggle the yarns all the way up to give a nice height to your yarn. Yarn over and pull it in the first 2 yarns in your hook. Wrap your yarn twice into your hook again, insert it in the same stitch, pull a yarn, and again give your yarn a nice height. Yarn over and pull it in the first 2 yarns in your hook. You should have 2 repeats by now with 5 loops in your hook. Yarn over twice into your hook, insert and pull a yarn. Yarn over and pull it in the first 2 yarns in your hook. There's third repeat. Again, yarn over twice into your hook, insert it, pull a yarn, and yarn over and pull it in the first 2 yarns in your hook, and you should have your 4 repeats. Okay, once you have the 4 repeats, yarn over again and pull it through all the way to the second to the last loop in your hook, and you should have 2 loops remaining, and again yarn over and pull it through all the way to the end. That's your second puff, and chain of 3 to close this puff petal, and slip stitch into the same stitch where your puff petal is. Okay, and then you have to repeat this puff petal until you have 5 petals. Okay, so all in all we need 5 petals. Here at the end of my last petal, and I just need a 3 chain to close this petal, and then slip stitch to the same stitch where we made the puff petal. And there should be a hidden 1 stitch left. Just make a slip stitch in there and pull a yarn and close your yarn and cut it off. So that's how we make puff flower, and we can cut it off. So now I'll show you how I change colors. So obviously we have to make the first and second row of the puff flower, which is the magic circle and the rows of 5 single crochet. Pull the tail of your magic circle. After you slip stitch into the last single crochet, you have to cut your yarn off. And now grab your second color, and you can insert it anywhere in your single crochets, and then pull a yarn and secure that color and make a chain of 3. So the same pattern that we did before, chain 3, and then we will make the puff in the same stitch where the chain is. So yarn over twice into your hook and try to bury the tail. Pull a yarn and wiggle it all the way up. Yarn over and pull it through in the first 2 loops in your hook. Again, wrap your yarn twice into your hook, insert it and pull a yarn, and continue the pattern of 4 repeats to complete your puffs. So we have 4 repeats now, so yarn over and pull it through all the way to the second to the last loop, and then yarn over again and pull it through all the way to the end, and chain of 3 and slip stitch to the same chain where your puff is. So continue this pattern until you have 5 petals to make your puff flowers. So I'm here at the end and I completed my puff flower, and this time cut off the yarn now. Tighten your yarns and you can wave the ends of your yarns to secure them. So this is what it looks like if you're using 1 color or 2 colors. It's really up to you, and the best yarns to use for these projects is from lightweight to super bulky yarns. And it's super cute and it's nice to use in any projects that you have in mind. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial that we have today, and please stay tuned for the upcoming tutorials that I will be using these projects of puff flowers and be ready to collect lots of puff flowers. If you like content like this, so please don't forget to support and subscribe and follow my socials here, and you can have an updates and tag me your work there. Thank you again, and I hope to see you again sometime next week. Goodbye!